you had an incredible meet. I mean, incredible in every single thing that you did. How do you now, looking back, it's only been a couple months, feel about the meet?
Yeah, I think that's what's put me at peace is the fact that I know that like I executed very well. Yeah. I put up really incredible times. And I think in all of my individual events, it took the Olympic record to win gold. Yeah. That didn't happen in most of the events in Paris. No. So Kaylee and Summer are generational talents, and I'm going to be proud of myself for a moment. I would consider myself one as well, you know?
1,000%.
And yeah. And
you are a world record
Thank you so much.
Yeah. Yes.
So I don't want to sell myself short anymore and just look at myself as like a minor medal winner, you know, and be like, yeah, because it's just like the times that it took and the performances that I still put up were very, 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 very good. And so I was just like, I'm past the point in my career where I want to be bitter and like feel not complacent with what I've done. Because I think it's always important to stay hungry, but I don't think there's any wrong with feeling like proud of yourself and kind of complacent to an extent, because otherwise you're never going to be satisfied. You're never going to be happy. You're like, you know, and then you're always going to want more, and you're going to leave the sport feeling like you have unfinished business, even when you're like, you know, so that's just not what I wanted to do. And ultimately, like what Kaylee and what Summer do, I have no control over it, you know? And so I'm just like, I want a best time in the 200 fly. That is like so cool. Going 203 again is like really sick. 200 back, I had a really great swim. 100 back individually was like, I think that was my poorest individual, but still 57.6, like, shit. Like
so
that's all right.
Yeah.
So
all right.
Yeah, I'm very, very glad that like, I think I tie it back to everything that I went through this year with the mono and with Bob and with whatever else was going on in my life. I think it just taught me that like I'm so much than like Regan Smith, the swimmer. And I know that's such a cliche. Everyone says that, right? Growing up, when I would hear people say that, when I was still really young, I didn't know as much, right? So I'd be like, yeah, right. Like, okay, like it really matters still, like how you do. But I am glad that like, as I've gotten more life experience, I am just like, okay, this is something I do and I want to give it my all every freaking time. And like, this is so important to me, but it's not like me. Like, it's not like, it doesn't encapsulate who I am. And thank God I figured that out, because otherwise I think I would have been absolutely gutted by this summer, which again is so sad because I did really, 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 really well. I did. So, and I just don't want to pretend that I didn't and feel super unsatisfied with 3 silvers. So I'm seriously so glad, because I was so gutted after Tokyo. And granted, I think in Tokyo, comparatively, I had poorer performances than Paris. I still did great, but yeah. And so I was so sad after it. And it's just like, I just went to the Olympics and won 3 medals. And I'm like sad and disappointed and like depressed, honestly. Like, that's ridiculous. So it's just like, I'm really glad that I've like separated a lot of my emotions from the outcomes of my performances. So like, it's very, very freeing. But I think I felt the most bad for like family members, because sometimes, you know, your family members want it more than you do, and they're so invested. And I knew that I wasn't like disappointing them or anything, but I just know that they wanted it so badly for me. I just like, I felt bad because I was like, I know this hurts them. So I just like want them to know that like I'm okay. And then I hope that like they're okay because of it. But yeah, I really am good with it, honestly. Thank goodness. Cause yeah, like after Tokyo, I think I had a hard time even like hearing Kaylee's name. Like, I just think she intimidated me so badly, and I was so frustrated, and I wanted the accomplishments that she had achieved so badly. And I really do just feel so like at peace with it now. And I think she's an incredible person, and I love competing against her, and I'm so proud of her too. And also I think what we have continued to do in between these past 2 games, and I think what we'll continue to do with each other until we retire, is pretty incredible, and like hasn't really been seen since Phelps and Lochte. So